Okay, so Dave, can you tell us something about yourself and how did you get into real estate?
Sure. I started on in the financial world at Bear Stearns, which is no longer in existence. But I actually interned at a developer back in 2003 that was the original owner of this property.
Mm-hmm.
And when I started, I believe this property was an industrial property. It was warehouses. And interestingly enough, one of the tenants was Netflix. And back then, it was before streaming, their business model was send DVDs to people in the mail in those little red envelopes. I don't know if you remember that. And Netflix was a tenant here distributing DVDs. Thankfully, they don't actually need that anymore. But that was, when you think back on it, how long ago and how technology has changed. But I started that project, back when, this was industrial and started working for that developer and eventually stayed with this project through a little bit of a change in ownership. Obviously, Onyx was invested in the project, and that's where I met Onyx Real Estate Partners, and we invested in that project in 2007 and became the majority owner of the project at that point, and then became the developer of the project through the downturn in 2009. And finished up the project and did the grand at Sky View Parc was the second phase of the project that we started we started thinking about that in about 2013, 2014. Broke ground, I believe, on that second phase, which is the 743 units at the Grand, and broke ground in about 2015.
15, yes.
So been doing a lot of things in those 16 years, but I've always had something to do with this project. It's very close to the heart, but it's been amazing to see the realization of things that were conceived 20 plus years ago, and it brings more joy when you had to go through hard times, and there was a lot of just like anything, a project of this size. It's not easy, but there's a lot of satisfaction in seeing it complete and seeing us almost fully sold out of the approximately 1,200 units, which is just pretty amazing. So, a few units left, and that's why
Yes.
you're doing this. And those lucky buyers are going to get in still in the first of in a project of this size. When you think about future development, you're still in. Even now, you're still in first. In what is, if there's new development, you still get to be in the first one of its kind, and really the one that has all the most land and the most option for to create, this living lifestyle that we've created here.
Sky View Parc is often imitated, never duplicated, right, Dave?
Skyview, being the first of its kind in Flushing, really is responsible for paving the way for all this other development that took place over the last decade, because they could point to Skyview and point to Skyview's success, and that enabled other developers to shoot higher, have higher ambitions with their projects, and bring their projects to a level that's, to try to bring it to a level that Skyview showed. Because what we did was when we built this, there really weren't comps in Flushing for this level of luxury and this level of pricing. But we knew that the demand was there, but someone had to do it first. So we did it first. But there's some advantages to still having units when you're looking at, there are other developers and other projects out there. And a lot of times you may be asked to buy before you can see the unit. There's obviously a little bit more risk to buying, pre-construction that way. Mm-hmm. Here you can come in and you can see the units, you can see your views, you can see all the things. It's ready and it's done, and you see the amenities. You don't have to be sold the video or people are selling the dream. The dream already exists here, and there's very few units left. You just have to talk to the people that live here, talk to the tenants or the residents, the owners, and how happy they have been here. And when you think about, you have in Skyview, because it's so big and so many units, you have so many cross-generational families that live here, from grandkids, again, the grandparents and the parents, all in potentially in different towers here, but it all feels like one community, and you can have, your friends, and that's what it's become. People who, they bought a unit and they suggested to their friends to buy a unit, and it's become a social lifestyle point where you can see yourself, you make new friends at Skyview, your friends come to Skyview. It is the place to socialize, to invite your guests. But, again, it was the first, and in my opinion, and I think it's fact, it's still the best that's out there in Flushing. And yeah, there are some ambitious plans on paper of some future supply, but to me, again, you can't recreate 14 acres, and you can't recreate a 7-acre amenity rooftop, and you can't, you just have to take one walk out through the Sky Lobby and see what this, and see what we're offering. You just got to come and see it. I can't, the pictures don't do it justice. You go from the hustle and bustle of the street, and you come up, and it's an oasis that was always conceived, and just makes me proud. Every time I come up there, it feels the same way, and it just, you breathe in the oxygen. It doesn't feel like you're in the city anymore. And trees, and they're all, having 5 years or 10 years, and some of these trees are 10 years old, and they've become so big, and just the greenery. It's just really impressive every time you come here. So, I just think Skyview, its location, its amenities, its size, its finishes, everything will hold up to any new competition, and I think it's the original, and I don't think you can recreate the original. You can try to, but it is the one that, when all said and done, I would feel comfortable putting my money in versus, it's just the knockoff. So,
yeah. Thank you so much, Dave. Thank you for being my guest, and thank you for being here.
Absolutely. Yeah, thanks for having me, Natasha.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure being working with you in the past 5 years. Yeah, and
great.
Good luck.
Yeah, no, we've had a lot of success together, and let's close this one out and work on the next one together.
Thank you.
All right.
And good luck with the new project.
Thanks very much.
Thank you for watching. See you next time.